Hi Soapies, Sherry here for Misty Goodness AMD soap. Today I am making another beer soap. This soap is a little bit more complicated than the Tuscan cedarwood beer soap that I made a few weeks ago. This one will be using a hanger and doing a hanger swirl in it, so we'll have, I guess we can call them 3 different colors. I'll explain more on that when we get to that portion of the soap making. Today I am going to be using Tabac and Leather type fragrance oil from Crafter's Choice. The fragrance notes are, let me check my notes, coriander, tobacco leaf, leather, and toasted oak. And I do really like the way this smells. I think it smells awesome. It does have 6% vanillin content, but the reviews showed no known issues other than the vanillin discoloration. So I'm hoping that I will be able to do my hanger swirl with no problems. I am soaping at somewhat room temperature. I'm using my master batch lye 50-50 solution, and I've added an equal portion of beer, making it a 3-to-1 water to lye ratio. I also have my salt and kaolin clay and silk peptides in my solution ready to go, and it has warmed up. These are my oils. You can see it's been pretty cool in the soap lab, so my oils are pretty solid, but I'm going to, when I add my lye solution, I'm going to do some hand stirring before I hit it with a stick blender. So this should be, my lye solution should be warm enough to melt my oils enough to stick blend them to an emulsion. For colors, I am using Micas and More Pitch Black Mica, and I'm also going to be using some titanium dioxide. This is water soluble titanium dioxide, so I've already got it pre-mixed with a couple little marbles in the bottom, so when it settles out I can mix it up easier. And one portion of this batch is going to be left uncolored so that the vanillin content of the fragrance oil can do its thing, and at 6% it should make a very even brown color. So I'm going to let it do its own thing. So we are going to start by, I feel like I haven't made a video in forever. We're going to start by adding our lye solution to our oils. Whoops, I got you out of the way there. And I do have a little bit of clay, it looks like, that's settled at the bottom. Yep, just a little bit of clay that should stir and stick blend in with no problems at all. Okay, so here is our soap batter, just lightly stirred until there is no more big chunks. There's still a few little ones, but everything is pretty mixed together. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil to this. I didn't want to add it too far into the process. I wanted to make sure everything was going to mix together, or if I was going to have to zap it with the microwave, I didn't want to zap it with the microwave with my fragrance oil in it. But everything melted up pretty good. So we have the batter to it's at right on the edge of emulsified and trace. So it seems like a good point to separate the colors. So I'm going to go ahead and separate off what I want for what's going to be a lighter brown. That's the part we're going to add the titanium dioxide to, and then we're going to do black, and then we are going to have some natural base color here, which will discolor to a brown. So we have mixed together our colors. So here is our uncolored portion. This is the portion with white in it, and this is our portion with black. You can see the soap batter is, oops, I'm going to put that there, you won't be able to see. The soap batter is thickening up a bit. I suspect that's more because of the cooler temperatures than the fragrance oil. So this accent color here, I'm going to try to do it, hopefully it's not too thick. It is a little thick. I probably should have started giving that a quick stir. So our accent color is just being poured in kind of a circle. They wound up right down the center. It's not going to push real far because it is so thick. I think I could probably stand half a mile away and it would still not sink in. And her soaps are just gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and do my hanger swirl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in all the way to the bottom and do 3 swirls, gradually pulling up in one direction and then go reverse and go back in the other direction and do 3 swirls down to the bottom and exit this side, hopefully. Okay, the exit part didn't go quite as planned because I didn't really think about that when I said it, but going back the other direction didn't quite work. I'm going to add some brown shimmer mica from Micas and More, pre-mixed in glycerin. And one thing I have learned when soap batter is this thick is it doesn't want to do a nice Taiwan swirl for me. So I'm just going to do a bunch of round circles today to finish off this soap and blend in that mica. And I apologize for all the noise going on upstairs if you can hear that. I swear there was a herd of elephants going through the house. But I guess that's what happens when you have a lot of kids. There probably was a herd of elephants. So you can already see some of this brown glycerin is pooling up. So I may have to give up on this whole idea of doing mica glycerin swirls with thick batter. Or maybe next time I'll try mixing it with rubbing alcohol. I've had several people recommend that to me. But speaking of rubbing alcohol, I am going to spritz this with rubbing alcohol, and I will cover it with a box and then cover that box with a couple of towels and let it sit for about 20, yeah, it'll be 24 hours this time around, and then we'll bring you back for the cutting. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Stay soapy.